So
No,
awesome.
I'm just going to leave the meeting right now.
Awesome. So go ahead. Tell people who you are.
Well, my name's Kelsey. I actually just started doing online coaching this year officially. I was helping friends out for free for years, and after seeing a world of misinformation online, I just decided to, be some. You got to bring knowledge into the sphere. There's so much misinformation, but
Make sure that doesn't happen anymore. Unmute themselves. There we go.
Got into it though. Back in 2015, going into college, I had always played sports, and after a rough summer of partying way too much, when you're in high school, middle school, high school, whatever, your body pretty much just stays the same. You're always the same weight. So this was the first time in my life I actually gained a considerable amount of weight.
Mm-hmm.
So did everything the wrong way.
What do you mean by the wrong way? Because I relate to that a lot too, as far as that's kind of how I got into coaching. I did every single thing that you could have possibly done wrong, to where I was in wrestling, eating saltines and having 2 bottles of water a day to go through my cut. And I lost 30 pounds in 3 weeks and made weight, but the depression, the anxiety, the things that I dealt with afterwards, the head trauma from now having a lack of protection and cognitive protection when I do get hit, it's just I've dealt with long-term effects from that. So, I mean, what did you do wrong? Like, what did you see initially?
Lost just about the same amount of weight. So I went into this. I was going to play softball in college. Actually, I remember they gave us like this 3-day workout. LaSalle College up in Massachusetts. It's
okay.
D3, nothing. I didn't even end up playing because I moved to Florida after that. But in the beginning of middle of my freshman year, rather. But I remember seeing this 3-day split they gave us, and it was something so minuscule, like squats, pull-ups, push-ups, just the basics. And I was like, hell no, they are not getting me into a gym. I am not lifting weights. Like, that's so not me. But what I did do was go to the gym, do a whole lot of body weight stuff, and I ran at least 2 miles a day on the treadmill. If I didn't, and it doesn't seem like, to us now, 2 miles we walk 10,000 steps, that's 4.5 miles, but every single day, I mean, if I didn't make my 2-mile run on the treadmill, everything was off the table for the rest of the day. I was so mad at myself, but I remember literally thinking, if I worked out today, why am I eating? Doesn't that negate the effects of working out? So of course, like you, actually September to December, I went from 120 pounds to 90 pounds, lost 30 pounds in 3 months. Well, not 3 weeks, but
that's significant. And that's more than just me going from 180 to 150 percentage wise. Like, that is a lot for you when you're already at 120 pounds. That's a lot.
Yeah. And of course, looking back now, 120 pounds really isn't. I'm just about 5'3". It's really not. It wasn't anything I needed to freak out over, but did, and got myself really sick for quite a few years, just continuing down that rabbit hole until, I really just, my life depended on turning that cycle around, literally. So then, research, I turned into such a nerd with like research on, PubMed and all those research journals online, and just looking at different sorts of calorie cycling and training. And then I was literally experimenting on me and figuring out, at a point I got to, like, I thought it was really cool because I wasn't in tune with cravings. I was in tune with like what macronutrient my body needed at the moment. I was like, I need more than just energy wise, but it was just some internal, like, I need a carb and a fat source right now sort of thing. So just playing around with that, and finally got to the point where I'm at now, where I'm just at peace with everything, and I have learned so much, and I got really sick of seeing all of these fad diets and the plethora of coaches that there are on Instagram that are really harming people. So I decided to step up, and never saw myself doing this, but
yeah,
had to step
no,
up.
that's kind of the same story. I've never really, as far as coaching, I never saw myself as becoming a coach or this being a viable career. It was just something that I did and got better at to help myself. That, like what I said at the beginning, I've done everything wrong. I've tried intermittent fasting, and here's the thing: I've done everything that is now a tool, and they're all great tools and great resources I can turn back to, and I know now where they apply and the benefits to them and the detriments to them and the things that can really be a negative that isn't talked about, especially if you get some of the zealots and keto or some of the zealots and carnivore. They don't tell you the negative side effects. They don't tell you that you're probably going to have diarrhea. They don't tell you that you're probably not going to be able to work out as hard if you're on keto when you're trying to gain muscle, because, and this kind of goes back to some talks I've had earlier this week with my group, and this is the focus of the week, but it really goes back to what your goals actually are. Because when I was training in high school, my goal was performance, but I wanted aesthetics. And what I now understand is that's completely opposite. I was chasing everything and doing everything to look better while I was trying to perform at my best.
Right.
And then taking away at the same time from everything that was going to be my hormonal health and my longevity, and throwing off my overall well-being. That's where the anxiety, the depression really developed, is because I wasn't being able to take care of myself in the way that I needed to have a healthy life, really.
Dude, 100%. I mean, I was in the same boat trying to push myself. I had for a year, doctors in Florida suck, by the way, so don't go to them. So when I moved,
unless you want pills. If you want pills, you got to go to Florida.
They do have quite a few like hormone replacement therapy places, and it's
opioids. People on opioids.
That is true. They were not afraid to do that, but
yeah, if your toe hurt, we'll get you one.
Right. It was about a year that my mom knew something was wrong with me. I was telling her every day. I was so tired. I could not make it through the day, multiple naps. Come to find out I have mono, but I had it for a full year before it was diagnosed. So now I just live with some on and off conditions of it, extreme tiredness, fatigue, brain fog also intensifies, but
the first COVID.
Yeah, literally. But I actually got it not from, the typical.
The kissing disease.
But even deeper than that. Like before that, I had something that then further developed into that, because I was working so damn hard, and like too hard. I didn't know when enough was enough. I was training, I thought performance and aesthetics were the same thing. And I was, at least 45 minutes of cardio every single day when I was out of the hospital after they could not figure out in Florida what was wrong with me, and I had to come home a year later to get diagnosed. That same day that I left the hospital, I was there for a week. I came back and did 2 hours on the elliptical because my mind was just that
worked it out. Up. Yeah.
But I needed my cardio. I needed my hour and a half plus lift, or else it just wasn't effective. I ate maybe twice a day, like all of these things that I was trying to do to just shrink myself, but I destroyed my internal health. Absolutely. I think I'm finally in a good place, but it took years to get there. after all of the damage.
So let me ask you this. You just got back from the gym, right?
Yes, I was training a client today, was a rest day.
Okay, so your day was a rest day today. Well, let me ask you though. So where are you at currently? What's your training or routine look like now? Because what it sounds like is you were 6-7 days a week, and not just 6-7 days a week, multiple times a day, 6-7 days a week, driving yourself into the ground. And I'm guessing, just from what you've just told me, it sounds like you were under consuming calories too, and you definitely weren't getting enough protein to sustain that muscle mass and muscle work and everything that you were doing. Is that right?
Zero muscle.
Yeah. And then today though, if any of you are watching and if anybody looks at your Instagram, that's not the woman that you are today. Obviously, you have, and I know from a fact from just being in the group with you, you don't train every day. You just said it was your rest day. So what's your routine look like now? Because it looks like you're in better shape and in better health now when you're doing less than what you were.
Oh, absolutely. I was working out, not recently, but 6 days a week. And I remember, let me tell you, I know, but I needed that. When I started taking 2 rest days a week, I still remember, and this was like 4 years ago, that I really I was like, I need another rest day.
Yeah.
I remember like the thought in my head where I was like, after a couple of weeks of that, I was like, I look better taking an extra rest day. Like that was so like monumental to me and my mindset that I remembered that thought. I was like, okay, this is like,
look better. Really how awesome. Like where did you notice that? Was it your face? Was it just like you're more like lively, you have more life? Or was it like, oh wow, I'm actually losing weight? Or like, what was it that you saw?
I was actually growing muscle for like the first time. But yeah, you need your rest days or recovery days are days for your muscles to really repair. And so now it took a step back from aesthetics as far as trying to shrink myself goes. So
like waist wise and physique and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your goal now?
Being strong. I just, my goal for the last year is probably, instead of for once in my life being the smallest person in the room, to being the biggest person in the room.
And what's strong look like for you as a woman? Because this is something we talked about before we got on this call that we wanted to touch base on. But what is strong for a woman? Is that doing like 15-pound front raises for 20 reps and doing thrusters and burpees? Like, is that how you're getting stronger? Like, what is strong for a woman?
No.
Okay.
No, I am lifting 5 days a week. And I honestly, at this point, don't even like going over 45 minutes. Time efficient.
How are you lifting? What's the workouts? Are you squatting, or are you doing like thrusters and like these plank jacks, and are you doing boot camp style?
No. What is that?
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, this is the thing. There's people on this call right now. There's people that are going to be watching this in the future that they're badass women. They're badass men. And this is what they think that strength training is. This is what they think strong is. Like when you see these pictures posted up at Orange Theory, if you see them posted up at some of these CrossFit, if they're at Planet Fitness, it's always this curl. I didn't even know you could curl like this. It's always this cute curl like this. Like, look at my bicep. I grew it today. Fucking stick it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
makes it bigger. That's why.
Yeah.
All right.
What is strong? Like, what are you doing? Are you doing straight sets? Are you doing circuits? Like
circuits? No. Supersets I do when I'm in a time crunch. That's it. I like to take the time to dedicate 100% energy to every single rep and set I put in. So right now my split looks like I have 2 leg days. One is glute and hamstring dominant. One is quad and hamstring dominant. I have a shoulder day, sometimes I sprinkle a little chest into there, but I am very strange, and my chest muscles are the first to grow on my body. And just
really lucky
yeah.
you. I wish I could replace you. That's awesome.
I literally just tweeted about that last night. I'm like, I am every man's, like, they want this. So
that's all they want. Yeah.
So, you know, in order to not have a puffed out chest and look somewhat feminine, I don't train it frequently.
I understand. Yep.
But so legs, 2 leg days. Obviously, one at the beginning of the week and one towards the end of the week, so I have ample time to recover. Mm-hmm. So I guess it'll look like quad and glute, back, straight back, shoulders with some chest, a full arm day, because I'm a weird girl and I love to have huge arms. Like then my other leg day. So I'm done trying to shrink myself down. I love big biceps on myself. Like, I'm weird, but you
say that, and I've seen your pictures and I know what you look like. And I want to say you're like Ronnie Coleman, big biceps, but you look like you have a physique. You look like you train, and it doesn't look bad. It's not. And that's the thing. That's, I think, where a lot of women get caught up, is they don't want to lift heavy. They don't want to do that. They don't want to work the arms. And you have an entire day focused on arms to make them better. And they're by no means bulky. You're not in this big, beefy bodybuilder. That's not the physique you have, but you do that.
Yeah. And that's me, like, being intentional about working out my biceps and triceps more than you normally would in your traditional, you know, back and biceps, chest, shoulder, triceps. But my big thing right now is, you know, overall balance, but being bigger. So, you know, sometimes maybe my split won't look like every other woman's split, but I am training to intentionally grow much bigger than the average person. But even with that, that's no more than 5 to 6 exercises per lift. Not even per muscle
per session.
Per session, 5 to 6 exercises. Whereas before, you know, if I didn't do 10, it wasn't worth it. And like, I'm thinking, how did I do that with under 1,000 calories in my system? I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, and you hit it, because if I was to explain my routine to you, I am lifting 6 days a week. I am hitting my muscle, but I've built up to this volume. This is not something that I've just gone into, and it's not something I could take any client into immediately. This is a volume that's taken me probably 2-3 years to build up to, and consistently, because if I miss days, I can fall off that kind of cardio, that way my body adapts and how it accepts the workouts. If I miss a week, it's square one. I've got to cut back. I've got to go back to 5 days. I can't manage 6 days. I mean, I've built up to this volume. But again, if I was to explain my workouts to you and what I do and the intensity and everything, it would sound exactly what we've been talking about to avoid. But at the same time, and you're in the chat with me, you understand, I probably have things to work on. I need to cut back. I need to get off work, and I actually need to relax and recover. Obviously, as coaches, the things we preach, we're always trying to work on ourselves. And the reason we became coaches is probably because we have our own fucked up issues. So that's mine. I overwork, I'm overstressed and everything. But you hit it where you said you were under eating, and I'm intentionally trying to fuel my body, shoving calories in, getting as much fuel, and making sure that I am trying to recover, that I am doing the things where I'm taking adaptogens to make sure that I am doing the best recovery I can at night, that I am doing some screen detoxes, obviously tonight. And when I do lives, it's a little different because I don't wear my glasses because it reflects off and the ring light. I figured out the first time I just look like a big bunny.
That might be better. Oh, hard. Hang on.
Well, that's the thing. I know. And I usually wear my blue blockers. I get ready for bed. I do all these things to recover and take care of my body. And I've been having talks with Rob Wolf recently and have been talking about, hey, I think I probably should back off my days. To build a business, the mental strain it takes to build a business, it's just so much effort. I had goals to get on a stage in October, and I don't have time to meal prep. I don't have time to put into my physique and body build twice a day like I should be if I'm going to get on stage and to be able to do cardio. And I could force it, but my business would suffer, my physique would suffer, and I think I would hit depression again. And I'm intentionally backing off to avoid that, to understand that. And I think a lot of people, when they hit this point, they think more is better. They think, I just have to push harder. I have to grind a little bit harder. I have to get through this. And they don't realize that they're going to lose it all at that point.
Right. And that level of lifestyle integration that you have is like that fine line between where people say like, oh, I just want to do this and get healthy, and then actually making it a sustainable lifestyle. Like some people think this is just okay, I'm gonna, kickstart and maybe I'll eat some vegetables or, like for sure, something that they can't follow, versus why don't we find the few things that you can do to make your lifestyle healthier and integrate it into what you currently do day to day, instead of completely uprooting your lifestyle. Like you have found that self-awareness where you understand fitness and nutrition to such a point where you're like, I know I can't do all of this at once, so I know where I need to back off of. And that's where everybody goes into this, with this all or nothing mindset. And if somebody else was in that position, they might just totally shut down. Yeah.
Or just like 75 hard. And I'm going to go at it again. And I know you agree with me because I have clients that are doing it currently. I know it's popular right now, and I've had arguments with people, and I get the messaging behind it. And I want to be able to I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant about it real quick, because the way I see it is, and I've had it explained to me, it's a great mindset tool. It's a great way to get your mindset straight, especially if you have a weak mindset, you haven't been able to stick to habits, and you haven't been able to follow anything up until this point. So it allows you to have some structure, and that's what's missing in your life is structure. It's not that you need the next new fad thing. It's not that you need 75 hard days of working outside once a day and a 45-minute session on the treadmill or working out and with weights, and you don't need to just get this gallon of water in your system every day, because I'll tell you right now, women, if you're 140 pounds, you don't need a fucking gallon of water a day. That's not how it works. It's a simple equation. You take your body weight divided by 2, and you add 15 ounces for every half hour of activity that you do. Do you sweep the house for a half hour? Cool, 15 ounces. Did you work out for an hour? Cool, 30 ounces. It's not hard. A gallon just allows you to hit some sort of goal. And this is what this is. You guys are lacking goals. You guys are lacking structure, and you are just trying to look to replace what you're lacking with the next new fad thing you're trying to get on board. And I'm all for mindset coaching, because I do believe that mindset will take your physical and move it. If you can switch and shift your mindset, the physical will follow. But it is the same with your physical. If you can just get up and move, if we can implement some simple things, you don't have to do all this bullshit and feel bad when you're on day 19 and you didn't get your water or you didn't get your workout because it was the next Hurricane Harvey or some bullshit outside and you couldn't go outside to work out. You're not working out in a hurricane. And if you do, you're an idiot. You are an absolute idiot if you go outside and try to do your mile walk or whatever you wanted to do in that 45-degree or that 45-minute session, because it's all or nothing. You don't miss it. I don't care what Mother Nature puts out there. I know what the text says. I've seen it. I read it. It's bullshit. What you need is something that's going to work for you and that's sustainable. And it's not keto. It's not this bullshit. And these are tools. And if the 75-day hard challenge is a tool that helps you achieve what you are lacking because you are such a person that needs this mindset shift, awesome. If you're the person that needs the mindset shift and we can focus on the health after, cool. This is what's going to get you there, cool. But that's all it is. It's just another tool. Exactly. You have no tools to sustain that. What are you going to do? You're going to go into the next 75-day hard challenge? Are you going to do this again? Because there is an end date. That's the whole point. Get through this end date. And I've had someone else explain that there's a sustainable path, that there is a process afterwards. But how about you just learn the sustainability from up front? You enjoy your life. You don't make these big drastic shifts. You get to still, your kids aren't pissed off at you because you're having fucking Brussels sprouts out of nowhere and they hate them, but you're introducing things slowly to the family. You're starting to introduce your weightlifting slowly. You're not all or nothing for an hour and a half a day, but maybe 15 minutes is all you can manage with your schedule. And maybe if you did an effective 15-minute workout where I'm opening up your hips and stretching out your back, you're not going to be able to do anymore because you're going to be so tired from that, because you're so tight in the shoulders and rounded and sitting down all day, that 15 minutes might be the most effective thing that I can get you through. And yeah, I think my rant's over. Cool. I will clip that and post that sometime else.
God, I mean, no, I agree. I've seen two things from that. Either, it teaches you absolutely nothing because it's not a coach. It's like this 8-page, whatever, 10 bullet, I don't know, guideline of things to do, but it doesn't tell you why you're doing them.
No.
Or two, people that are just starting out see these results on the 75 hard because they've never tried anything else. So now they're like, okay, this works, so I'm just going to do this for the rest of ever. I mean, I just saw a girl on Instagram and she went from looking healthy to looking very unhealthy. And she even posted that she finished it, but she's just going to keep on going.
Like gaunt eyes, like sunken in, kind of like cheekbones, like that kind of thing. It doesn't look, you don't look full. You don't look healthy. You look like you're depleted.
And I just want to know if you're really continuing this after 75 days, and mind you, so this 45 minutes, that's what, an hour and a half a day?
Yeah.
But you can't do an hour and a half at once. You have to break it up. So tell me, who has the time to do all of this every day for the rest of their lives? Because whatever job they have that actually is like giving
and if
them,
you have kids, or
like
a fiance or a significant other or anything,
right? Like what are you doing for work that you have all of this time to just do 2 different workouts a day and all of whatever else meditation, reading, like some of them are really good principles, but overall it promotes such unhealthy. You can't have, I think it cuts off sugar, which is like literally fruit.
All this stuff. Yeah. And it's all good principles behind it. And if you took them all out of context individually, you're like, oh, you don't think you should cut out sugar? No, I think you should probably cut back on sugar because you're eating 78 grams a day. But I'm not going to put that in my protocol.
From eating watermelon, honestly. So
no,
I mean,
no,
and
but
like sugar and water. That's all. It's all.
Listen, I'm all for whole foods. I'm the type of coach that will push that, but I'm also the type of coach that, again, it depends. If it fits your macros, it's okay. I like Pop-Tarts. And if it fits in and you're not doing it all the time, and there's been days that I've gotten to the end of the day and I'm like, how am I going to get 78 carbs at the end of the night? A Pop-Tart's great. It tastes amazing. Brown sugar and cinnamon, and it goes down easy. And you're like, holy shit, I could eat another. Yeah. And another. And another. That's the thing. You can keep eating them. And that's the problem. That's where people get out of hand with their sugar intake and different things. Is just
macros are a great tool too.
What was that?
That's why macros are a great tool too, because you see those numbers, and some people, if you're like in that mindset, I mean, you see that's a daily win in itself. You hit your macros. And but what was I? Oh, you don't want to eat like there's a time and place for everything. I would much rather somebody, given it's a lot of sugar, so I might maybe not 4 Pop-Tarts before bed because that's a lot of sugar, but why not something like rice cakes or something easily digestible before bed instead of a giant bowl of oatmeal or something, because that's not good to eat before bed. That's just going to sit in you. You'd probably be awake for a while trying to digest it. So there's literally a time and place for everything. And I would, in that spot, I would not recommend this like massive meal right before bed because you have macros to hit. Like there is a place for candy and Pop-Tarts, and especially mentally too. I mean, I can't believe, again, with the significant other or children, or you on this 75 hard, you can't go out to eat, you can't. So what if between day 1 and day 75 your kid has a birthday? What are you gonna do about that?
Yeah.
Restart? Like
yeah, well, that's the thing. Yes, that's what you do. You restart from day 1. Yeah. So it's yeah, it's another fad. I think it'll phase out. I think it will continue to, there'll be a next one. There'll be a 100-day challenge or whatever the fuck. And which gets back to, and I'm not all against these challenges or things to do. Obviously, you're on tonight because this is my 21-day challenge, but this is my second week. And what some of the theme has been over these past, 11 days now, is it's been all about, it's a process. This isn't a fad fix. It is going to take time, and it's going to take rehabbing what you've done to your body over the years. I don't know what anybody has done. I don't know the damage and how many diets you've tried. I don't know if you've done the saltine and water diet like I have, but if you have, I know from experience, you've got a long fucking journey to go. And luckily, I'm a little younger than some of the clients that I coach. That's just fortunate for me that I fell into this, and I was in a bad spot in my life that if it wasn't for fitness and nutrition, then I wouldn't be here. And that's just the reality of what happened. And that's not the reality of what a lot of people deal with. But I figured this shit out because I had to. And now that it's figured out, that's what I'm trying to share with others, because yeah, it just seems like that the information out there is so prevalent on what you shouldn't be doing and all these diets that seem to work. And I was just listening today on a podcast about someone pushing keto, and she had great points, and it's not bad. And I'm not even against keto. If it's right for you, you definitely do it. It's just a matter
or something, but
and here's the thing, and her points were great as far as being fat adapted. I agree with her, is that we don't take times to actually go into a fast. Most people have never experienced 12 hours without having food. And it kind of brought me back to how I got into some of my coaching holistically in the first place, is that, yeah, I was really into intermittent fasting because, yeah, we don't fast, but it's a tool. You need to use it properly. You need to work it into your schedule. And if it doesn't work for you, it's not the end all be all. We can figure out something else that works for you. And keto, it is great because we actually, her whole point is that the people that are on keto aren't even on keto. They're not doing it right. They're not taking their blood and taking the ketone strips and actually finding out their levels. And they're not finding out that if they're 1.2 millimolar, and if they eat, and people don't even realize that the keto friendly foods will take them out. They just think it keeps them in. They don't even realize that it's going to take them out because they're not fat adapted. They're still carbohydrate adapted. And if you eat too much protein, you're going to be kicked out of keto again, because you're going to go through gluconeogenesis where your protein's turned into carbs, and now you're still fucked and you're still not on keto. And she was just explaining how hard it actually is to get into it. But she says, once you are into it, the cognitive effects are incredible. She loves it, the energy, the clean. But most people aren't scientists like her. Most people aren't going to take the time and dedication and know how to apply that. And most people aren't going to listen to their coach like you or I, where they're going to be able to follow such an intensive protocol, unless, again, they have epilepsy and this is the only thing that's going to help them. That's usually the only people that follow to a T. But those people on keto, you get to Friday night and you have a couple beers, and they'll come Monday morning and be like, I'm keto. Bullshit. So
I know. Oh my goodness. I had, somebody I used to be very good friends with. I don't talk to this person anymore, but I just saw on a Snapchat, he's like posted a picture of a scale. He's like, oh, going on keto again next week. And they were like so serious about it, except just everything the wrong way. They would like strictly drink vodka, like just Ciroc, and like that's it, because it's a clear vodka, so there's no carbs. And I'm like,
oh yeah, but you're fucking up your liver and you're shutting down your metabolism, and any fat loss that you thought you were going to have is eliminated by your metabolism being shut down. So,
and just the fact that it says no carbs, but all of these things people do not understand. Literally, I mean, yeah, your digestion shuts down because your body's first mode of action is to get rid of the toxin in your body. But in that, you like need to understand that you have to track that in as carbs and or fat. Like, it's not just the empty calories.
no.
So you really just can't. There is no such thing as keto alcohol. I mean, these people would literally just, get so drunk, and you get it, you get drunk, you want to order whatever, pizza, go to McDonald's, I don't know, but they would like get pizza and just pick the cheese and the pepperoni
Oh jeez.
and be a meal. I'm like, I'll be over here eating, having
The pizza
life. Yeah,
with pineapple.
Oh,
Jason,
it's not.
I'll make sure to cut and clip this. Jason, pineapple goes on pizza all the time, every time. And this isn't my thought. This is Kelsey Garvey's thought. So Jason Phillips.
Yeah. All right. I can't say I have tried anything that I don't like on pizza.
Yeah.
Including Hawaiian. This place near me, they have this like cheese filled ravi.
Yeah.
I am the sometimes least health. People always look at me and they're like,
I'm a glutton.
Yeah.
I'm a glutton. I'm drinking beer. I'm drinking beer right now on camera. I mean, why not? It's just
got my water, but this place, they have a cheese-filled tortellini pizza, like cheese-filled tortellini on pizza.
I told Rob Roof the other day, I thought it'd be hilarious, but I would just get yelled at eventually because it's a waste of actual time. There's no reason for me to do this, but I thought it'd be hilarious to create an entire meme account anonymously and Photoshop Jason eating a bunch of pineapple pizzas and doing that's what I mean. But no, make it anonymous. He would never know. And I'd post it to all the nutrition coaching secrets like boards and just because it would only be an inside joke for us, obviously. Like, no, like the rest of the world would be like, who the fuck's Jason Phillips and he doesn't like pineapple? Like what? But everybody else would get it. But it would be a monumental waste of time for me to Photoshop, do all this, and
while you're going to the gym 6 days a week and
starting a business, doing all this. But the reaction from Jason, just the moment he saw Instagram with like 25 posts of him eating pineapple pizza and his jaw drops and he's just like, I hate pineapple pizza. Like, what's going on?
What is this?
That moment would be worth it for me. I could just imagine the frustration in him and I like to troll. I like to do things that are harmless that I think are funny. And
you haven't checked out Alex's personal page.
Oh yeah, no. If you guys check out my personal page, I do free ads if you're looking for me to promote anything for you. If you're just looking for humor, you might not think I'm funny, but I'm laughing.
What's the word? Easily offended. Oh, God.
Yeah, don't come to my page and be offended because I offend myself sometimes, and so it's just expected.
You're not laughing at yourself.
But Kelsey, we'll wrap this up real quick. Go ahead. No, what were you gonna say?
You should do like a fake, like a texting app. Make a meme, just send it to them.
Listen, this is I've had this thought. It's not crossed my mind, but he already threatened to kick me out of the boardroom the one time when I was like, hey, remember when the website's available? And he's like, it's a real easy way. I was like, I'm just saying it was available. So
what, pineapple on pizza? Or
no, they're looking for websites and it was I think it was like Impact something. It was something. And I was like, oh, this would be a great website to name my website. It doesn't seem like it's taken. He's like, do you want to get kicked out? And I was like, I'm just saying. He's like, thank you though. My team's on it. We're buying that now.
Oh, the other business coaching.
Yeah.
Got you. Talk to you about that after.
But Kelsey, I want to thank you for coming on. I think this is a great conversation and is just something that the women in my community needed to hear. This is going to be recorded and posted on YouTube. So this is something that will be great for me to be able to send to future clients that are struggling with the idea that they're not able to lift heavy, the idea that they're not able to actually consume calories, and they have this image or this false belief in their mind to where they have to do all this cardio, these boot camps, and under consume this calories to have the physique that you have, that you want. And going with men, they think that they have to spend just God, I'm such a bad example. Countless hours in the gym and doing all this training. My goals are not your goals. They're different. I promise.
He does it because he genuinely likes doing it, not because he's like,
No, yeah. I stare in the mirror and I'm like, oh, this is, what else could I be doing other than just staring in the mirror, curling? I like that. You guys like to Netflix and chill. I like to curl and stare. It's different. I'm different.
Put that on a shirt. Oh my God. No, but to recap real quick, best thing I ever did for myself, I'll like drop my Instagram handle in the comments so that.
Yes, I'll need that from you. I'm going to be posting that in the bio, the description. So still learning everything. I'm getting better at this.
It's okay. Every day is a learning experience, but I mean, just so if people want to check that out, I mean, the best thing I ever did for myself, and if you go back through my pictures, you might see one where I was like 90 pounds, but now my body's found a happy weight that it can actually maintain at and go through the day and have more of myself to give to other parts of my life that I previously couldn't because I was so consumed with thoughts and the gym and always wanted to be in there, 2-3 times a day. And that was my whole identity. And I couldn't give any part of myself to myself or the others in my life. And the best thing that I did for myself was working out 4 to 5 days a week for 45 minutes to an hour and eating more food because I was hungry. I was always thinking about food. And it hit a point, and I'm sure other people have been to this point. Is it really worth always being hungry? You're given one body. Like, is always being hungry worth what you're putting yourself through right now? Like, so,
if you're fat and you're overweight and you're tired and you're under eating and under consuming, why don't you try something different? The only thing you haven't tried is eating more. The worst thing that is going to happen is you might get a little fatter, I guess. I don't know, but your seems like if you just
restored.
Yeah, well, this thing is, it's like their entire fear is if I eat more, I'm going to get fatter. But everything up until this point, the less you eat, the fatter you've been getting. So why don't you try something a little different? Eat a little more. See if that works. And
I guarantee,
see how you feel.
Like, I will say 99% of the time, unless you're that 1% that might have some hormonal issues or more internal health. But regardless, food is medicine, and anything that you're going through right now, any reason that you can't lose weight can be fixed with just eating more.
Yes.
I swear.
And Kelsey, where can they find you? What's your Instagram and what's your website or company? Where can they find you?
Website.
I don't know where you're at.
My Instagram is at Kelsey Garvey with an _, and that's as far as I've gotten so far.
Awesome.
Instagram, my name on Facebook, and my Facebook community's group name is Female Health, Confidence, and Metabolism Secrets. because I kind
Awesome.
of felt that it was fat loss and metabolism, and then I kind of felt weird adding people into it because I'm like, I'm not calling you fat. I just want you to learn a lot of really cool things with me.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah.
oh, while we're
Health
live, while we're on here too, I do want to say, the love yourself naked people, fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourself. We hate you.
Not to be confused.
Yes, Jillian, we love you. The other people, I don't even know who it is. Just
Irrelevant, literally.
yeah, I don't even know your name. Your company's gonna fail, and you're probably one of these fad diets that we've been talking shit about. So
Probably.
fuck yourselves, stop giving people hell in our community. And
people don't like to see people be successful when they aren't. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Find your inner peace, everybody, like literally.
And love yourself naked. Good. Now this entire thing is worthless. We're going to get demonetized and canceled. Good thing I was never monetized in the first place.
Oh my God.
All right. Thank you, people. I am going to end this recording. I will be sure to post the link on YouTube and all in the description. You can find Kelsey and my information. But thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you and have a wonderful night.